Hey friends! Welcome to this new tutorial for automating manual tasks. Today's video will be special, as it will be targeted for beginners that never used Visual Basic for application, or also called VBA. In a previous video, I have presented a method to automatically backup your Outlook emails in Excel files, convert them to HTML pages, or even download attachments. This solution, and many others I will present later, is using the scripting language Visual Basic for Application, or VBA. It is among the easiest programming language to learn, and can be directly used for software that you are probably using on a daily basis now, like Excel, PowerPoint, or Outlook. In today's video, I will explain in simple steps how to use VBA for Excel and record your first macro. You will be then able to implement all the VBA solutions you can find in my channel or blog. Let's go! To be able to write and run macros, you need to activate VBA in Excel. For this, you need to go to the Option tab. You need to select More Commands. And then you go to Add-in. And then you select Go. And here you need to select this Analysis Toolpack VBA. After it's done, you are ready to write and read macros. You can go on macro here, my first macro for instance. You need to follow certain syntax when you are creating. And when you create, you arrive in the environment for development. Quite easy, right? But before ending this video, I would like to show you a very interesting tool, the recording tool. The idea behind this tool is that you can perform any task on Excel and then automate it very easily. What this tool will do is when you perform a task on Excel, it will record the code behind this task. So after you perform the task, you can read the code of what you just did. And then by changing few parameters, you can perform automation for any task. Let me take an example here. So we have two cells, okay? A1 and B1. I'm going to start the recording tool. We'll call it Record 1. I will select the first cell. I will change the color to yellow. And then I will stop the macro. The recording. Now we are going to see what the tool recorded. So you clean a bit because it's more clear. And what you can see, so here this is a comment. So this is basically not participating in the execution. You can actually remove it if you want. What you can see here is the first action is taking something called range A1, so we can easily imagine that it's the cell A1 and is selected. And then with the selection, taking the interior of the selection is changing few parameters. Even if you're not familiar with the syntax, you can understand here that is basically setting a color. And I would bet that this color is the yellow. If you come back to the Excel file, and if you put back here to white, if you go back to the macro and you run it, boom, it will change the color. Now, let's do an experiment. And basically, if you follow this methodology, you will be able to automate any task. If I go to the code, and now I want to select and to change the color of B1. Just have to go here, and I change A to B. And I send, and I launch the macro. Boom, it's changing B. Again, I go back to the macro. And here, I would like to select the two cells. If you remember well, if you're using Excel formulas, if I select this, it will select the range from A to B. Let's try it. So first I put back the color here. I go on View, Macro, and I run recall one. Boom, it's selecting both. So now you basically have the recipe on how to develop with VBA. The only thing that is remaining is how to declare variables, how to do for loops, how to create if loops, and then how to build some procedures and functions. But for most of the tasks that you are going to do for automation, you are going to follow this methodology. First, you will perform the task, you will see how VBA is writing in code, and then you will tweak the code to do what you want. I hope this tutorial was clear enough, but if you have any question, feel free to share them in the comment section.